Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedrichs Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about: what questions should I ask my doctor about my post-trial period? What type of long-term follow-up care is part of this trial? If I benefit from the intervention, will I be allowed to continue receiving it after the trial ends? Will results of the study be provided to me? Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedrichs Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Sand Volleyball Wishes by Kendall Harvey. 9 years ago today, my friends and I won the Sand Volleyball Championship. What you can't see in this picture is that this season of sand volleyball is where I realized that something was not right with my body. For over a month, I had been perusing medical answers about my failing balance and coordination. A few months after this photo was taken, I would learn that I had Friedreich's ataxia, FA. I share this to remind you of a couple of things. 1. Be your own advocate. Only you know how you feel, and only you can determine what your normal is. It takes strength to speak up, and there is no shame in seeking or accepting help. 2. Enjoy the little things, even when times are crazy. Happiness can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Albus Dumbledore. 3. Be kind to everyone because you never know what is going on in someone's life. I try not to dwell on the past and wish my reality away, because that doesn't help me make today its best day, but man, I wish I could run around and play another game of sand volleyball with this amazing group of friends again. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about my journey to accepting my responsibility with FA by Kendall Harvey. Throughout my journey with Friedreich's ataxia, FA, I've wrestled with people calling me an inspiration. My feelings about it have changed and progressed just as quickly as my disabled body. When I was diagnosed with FA in 2013, my symptoms were relatively mild. The only things I couldn't do anymore were running and wearing high heels. I conducted a lot of research into typical FA progression, and I was determined to do whatever I could to prevent that future from becoming my present. So when I started raising funds and awareness for FA research and people told me how inspiring that was, I thought, I am just doing what I need to do to secure my future. How are my intrinsically selfish actions inspiring? I didn't understand why people saw inspiration in that, but I was so thankful that they did. I was glad that I was stirring up some emotions because it made my efforts more productive. People were willing to donate and support my cause because they viewed me as an inspiring fighter. As my symptoms progressed and FA increasingly affected my everyday actions, I lost all shame. I became transparent and vulnerable, all for the sake of putting an end to this disease and, in turn, preventing a future that now seemed more tangible, unavoidable, and daunting. In my updates, I began to share more about my feelings and my faith. I expressed my dark fears, desperate prayers, and hopes for the future. In my mind, the responses calling me inspirational started to make more sense. Inspiring people was my goal at that point, as I now had two audiences. I was trying to inspire people outside of the FA community to become aware of this disease and to help our community put an end to it. I was also trying to inspire my fellow FA patients not to lose heart. My symptom progression made me feel like I had a leg to stand on, no pun intended, when speaking to the FA audience. I felt like I was truly a part of the community now, and I wanted to make my presence mean something. Then I became dependent on mobility aids. Clinging to a walker 24/7 made me think about FA just as often. Nothing I did was mindless, and I became hyper-focused on safety. I was constantly consumed by thoughts of FA, which gave me ample time to gather my resulting feelings and share them accordingly. I began writing more consistently for Friedrichs Ataxia News, and this practice helped me find my voice and share my journey online. I was able to use my social media platforms and my column to speak to multiple audiences. Something about feeling like I was truly a part of the FA community and had a valid message to share changed the way I saw my journey. I realized that FA comes with a responsibility. Because the disease is so rare, as is a 34-year-old mom who's dependent on a walker, I have a unique perspective on life and an unexpected platform to share it from. Before FA, I never aspired to be an inspiration, but perhaps that is my purpose in life. Even though most of my struggles are visible, countless people in my circle of influence face invisible struggles. The hardships of my journey are only wasted if I keep them to myself. If I openly share, maybe my experience can help someone else, making this horribly cruel and ugly disease represent something beautiful, hope. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedrichs Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedrichs Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about FA Gives Me a New Reason to Throw Myself a Pity Party, by Kendall Harvey. It's not uncommon for me to throw myself pity parties. Living with Friedrichs Ataxia, FA, is a constant battle. I have to choose to be strong every moment of every day and to keep fighting for independence, normalcy, safety, and hope. It's exhausting to maintain the defensive wall that holds my life together. When I am in the midst of a pity party, I let the wall come down, and a vast ocean of FA-related thoughts and emotions floods over me. This usually happens after a fall, when a new symptom appears, when a new stage of progression begins, or when I miss out on something because I'm physically unable to do what everyone else can. In these moments, I realize how weak my wall truly is. I'm forced to acknowledge that my stubborn determination to rise above FA is not a worthy opponent of the relentless monster that controls my body. Last week, I found myself in the throes of a pity party, only this one wasn't brought on by any of my usual triggers. So I guess I have a new one to add to the list: mental and emotional fatigue. I suddenly found myself incredibly sad and frustrated, and when I tried to articulate why, all I could come up with were the thoughts running on a loop in my head: I'm just so sick of FA. I'm sick of being an FA patient. Honestly, I'm sick of being me. It's too hard. I used to be able to take a break from being an FA patient. I would take a week off from writing my FA column. I would cancel physical therapy for a week. I would distract myself with kid activities and date nights. I would try to live a normal life, where I wasn't carving out time specifically dedicated to FA. But lately, FA has been relentlessly inescapable. It's impossible to separate FA Kendall from normal Kendall. I feel like normal Kendall is gone, leaving me struggling to adjust to FA Kendall's unavoidably taxing, painful, and hard life. This new normal is a constant beatdown on my mood and energy. I don't feel that I'm handling it well at all. I try so hard to remain focused, optimistic, and grounded in my belief that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but it's hard. Before FA, I felt like I was 80% silly and funny, and 20% hardworking. Now I feel like I'm 99% hardworking and 1% fun. I've had countless moments this year when I don't even recognize myself anymore. FA is physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually taxing. It's exhausting to have to choose to be strong every minute of every day, especially when what I most long for is easy. I want mindless. I want normal. I want unencumbered by FA dark cloud joy. I know I have many bright blessings in my life that fill it with joy. I know there are people, devices, and technology ready and willing to help me achieve some safe normalcy. And I also know that if FA went away, all my problems wouldn't instantly vanish. I know that people without FA don't always lead carefree, easy lives. I also know that I can't control FA. I can't control what it does to me. All I can control is how I approach and respond to it. So I will keep going and doing my best, acknowledging that it's okay if my best includes the occasional pity party. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedrichs Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about Facing an Unknown Future as My FA Symptoms Progress, by Kendall Harvey. Since the beginning of my journey with Friedreich's ataxia, FA, worries about the future have plagued me. Would I have a future? What would it look like? As I learned more about FA, one word stood out: progressive. Everything boiled down to progressing symptoms. My balance and coordination would progressively degenerate, my speech would become progressively slower and more slurred, my dexterity would progressively deteriorate, and my fatigue and scoliosis would progressively worsen. Basically, I would progressively become more disabled as time went on. This was a horrifying reality to accept. I know the future is unknown for everyone, FA or not, but I now had all these new concerns. When would I need a walker? When would I become a full-time wheelchair user? I desperately wanted a doctor to tell me when I would hit these dreadful milestones. I know that's impossible, since disease progression with FA isn't like clockwork, but I felt it was necessary to plan for my future. The best the doctors could tell me was, your rate of disease progression will likely stay the same. If your symptoms are 10% worse in a year, they will likely be 10% worse the following year. It's like the parable about the frog: if you place a frog in warm water and slowly, degree by degree, turn the heat up, they won't notice until it's boiling. I feel like I'm the frog and FA is the heat. I am progressively becoming more and more disabled, and eventually, I'll be in a boiling pot, fully disabled. But I can't focus on the temperature of my FA waters. I can't live in fear of reaching boiling, even on the days when the heat is noticeably increasing. All I can do is accept the current state of my progression and try to keep moving forward. For my friends and family who see me regularly, my symptom progression is less noticeable. Just as kids don't grow inches overnight and you don't develop new wrinkles in a day, you don't necessarily notice the changes that happen slowly, because the daily progression is often imperceptible. But we all know what's coming. My son, Brooks, 7, and my daughter, Collins, 5, have seen me go from walking independently to needing occasional help, then to using a walker full-time. They have seen the heat slowly increase, but they don't know why or what the end game is. The other day, Collins and I were chatting. She told me that one of her friends was having a new kitchen built in their house while they were still living in it. I explained that this was called a renovation and that we would do one someday. She got excited and asked me to explain what we were going to do, so I told her that one day, my legs will get worse and I won't be able to walk anymore, and when that happens, I'll be in a wheelchair. At that time, we'll have to renovate the bathroom and the kitchen to safely accommodate my needs. This morning, Collins watched me bop around the house packing lunches and backpacks, making breakfast and cleaning as I went. She suddenly came over to me, hugged my legs, and said, "I don't want your legs to stop working and for you to need a wheelchair and a new bathroom." Even though all I wanted to do was cry and say, "Me, neither," I had to help guide her into our unknown future. I gave her a huge bear hug and explained that it would be a while before that happened. And when it does, we'll adapt, just like we did when I started using my walker. While I know the basics of what FA has in store for me, my future is as unknown as anyone else's. I plan on facing my disease progression with adaptability, grace, and patience while I trust in God, the one who holds my future. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description. Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedrichs Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about how FA has affected my parenting abilities. By Kendall Harvey. Friedreich's ataxia, FA, has changed so much about who I am. The physical effects have changed how I think, act, feel, and relate. Some of the changes are good, some are bad, and others are just complicated and hard. My parenting abilities have changed in all of the above ways. One of the blessings of parenting with FA is that I am forced to be intentional with my time. If I want to spend time with my kids, I need to take care of monotonous tasks, which can take my time and attention away from them, when they are either sleeping, at school, or entertaining themselves. That way, I can simply be with them the rest of the time without having to multitask or feel guilty about what I've left incomplete. The other blessing that has come out of parenting with FA is witnessing the development of my kids' empathy and compassion, or others' awareness, as I like to call it. They notice small opportunities to be helpful, they can tell when I'm frustrated about my inabilities, and most important, they are caring friends. All of this has made me more empathetic, compassionate, and aware, too. In other words, feelings are a big deal in our house. One of the bad, complicated, and hard changes that has affected my overall happiness and feeling of being a good mom is that I don't know how to play with my kids at this stage of my FA. When my kids were little, they were happy just sitting on the ground in the playroom, goofing off all day. They're now 7 and 5, and their idea of playing is physical. They want to practice baseball, jump on the trampoline, have cannonball contests, chase each other during Nerf gun fights, and go on big adventures. I can't do any of that, so basically, everything they enjoy doing right now forces me to be a sideline spectator. While I try my best to be an active and involved spectator, I can't help the feelings that come with being forced into that role. I become bitter and angry that I can't play with them the way I want to because of my disabilities. I get jealous of the parents who can get out there and mix it up with their kids. I get frustrated seeing parents who could actively participate but choose not to. My son goes from school to lacrosse or baseball practice, knocks out his homework, eats dinner, showers, and goes to bed. I get such a limited amount of time with him during the week, and I don't know how to spend it playing with him. Meanwhile, my daughter is in her last month of preschool, and I'm pouting because I don't know how to play with her on the days when she is home. I get wrapped up in these thoughts, and it puts me in a funk that I can't easily shake. Lately, I've felt like I'm missing their childhood trying to figure everything out. I worry about how these changes in my personality and my level of involvement in their lives will affect our relationship. Will they recognize that FA is the root cause and resent it, or will they just resent me? Will I figure it out in time to play with them while they are still kids who want and need their mom? As I was headed into my 8th Mother's Day weekend, I was wrestling with all of this. One thing I know for sure is that I am meant to be mom to my 2 kids, and they were meant to have me as a mom, FA and all. We will figure out a way to play and be happy together because our relationship is intentional and has a purpose. I look forward to uncovering that purpose and answering those questions, together. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description.